Hello everyone, it's Marcin Bieniek, tennis coach. Here we have the presentation about the mental preparation for the sport competition. So today I will discuss the necessary steps to play effectively under the pressure of competition. As you all know, it is not easy to compete effectively. It is not easy to play as well during the competition as you do during the practice sessions, but it is achievable. It is possible if we have the skills, if we have proper approach. So this presentation will give you the knowledge about what you have to do, what you have to train to be prepared mentally for the sport competition and to show your best performance every time you compete. Let's start with the challenges during the competitions. Every player has some kind of problems that happen while competing. It is kind of normal. Rarely we play without any problems, without any ups and downs. So we have to accept this reality. We have to make sure that we are ready for the good times and for the bad times of the competitions, and that we have the tools to deal with the challenges, to deal with the problems, to be able to always find a solution. So one of the challenges is that athletes make more mistakes than usual. So we see that pure quality of their performance, we see that they are making more mistakes than, for example, during the practice sessions. That is why also the score is many times less positive. Athletes underperform and they get angry. They can't believe why 2 days ago, why even 3 hours ago, they were able to do something and now they can't. Another challenge, players make improper decisions. Many times they rush, so there is no analysis, there is no logic. Many times there are emotions, but the decisions are not of the high quality. The decisions are not based, for example, on the strategy, on their strengths, on the opponent's weaknesses, but decisions are made quickly, decisions are made emotionally, decisions are ineffective, decisions are not changed. So these are the challenges during the competitions, because if you make more mistakes, many times it is also combined with making improper decisions. If you want to improve your performance, if you want to increase the effectiveness of your actions, if you want to expect better results, you have to take care of your decisions to make sure that you are not making too many mistakes. Additionally, another challenge, wrong focus. Let's keep in mind that we have two different types of focus, internal and external. Internal is focused on ourselves, what comes from inside. External focus is focused on the external factors outside of ourselves. And the best way champions focus is to focus on the internal part, because we can control it fully, because we know ourselves, because we can use our strengths. But during the competition, because of the stress, because of the different environment, because of the presence of the opponent, many athletes switch focus from internal one to the external one. Unfortunately, you cannot be really effective, you cannot play at your best if you focus on the things that you cannot control. For example, if you focus on the weather conditions, if you focus on the surface, if you focus on the temperature, if you focus on the opponent, if you focus on the decisions of the referee, you cannot control it. So you give the control to the external factors, you cannot control your actions, and that is why many times also you cannot control the result. Next challenge is the paralyzed movement. That is because of the stress. During the training sessions, we have definitely less stress than during the competition. So it is also really important to try to imitate the environment during the practice sessions that we perform, that we conduct every day. But during the competition, many times we can see the athletes that are paralyzed, so they have slower reaction, they start to the ball, they start running really slowly. Also they have mechanical movements, especially it is visible, for example, in soccer while trying to control the ball, or in tennis while hitting the first shots during the match. So if you want to be smooth, if you want to have high quality performance, we have to be fluid with our movements. If we are mechanical, mechanical, they are not fast, they are going to break down the whole chain of movement, and that is why players make more and more mistakes. So this is definitely a challenge. Everyone is stressed at the beginning of the competition, but some of the players stay stressed for the whole competition, and this is the biggest problem. If you feel stressed at the beginning, but you have tools, you are aware of that, and you can react properly, you can lower the level of stress and you can start playing better and better. But if you are not able to do this, and if you are paralyzed for the whole match, for the whole competition, definitely you will not reach the level that you reach daily, and you will have problems with achieving the results that you expect. And the last challenge that I would like to mention is the fact that during the competition, during the rivalry, during the tournament, players feel more emotions. So it is because of the competition, it is because of the presence of the rival, it is because of the consciousness of the goal that we want to achieve. We want to advance to the next round, we want to get the points, we want to have a chance to play in the final for the trophy, for the winning. And these emotions are normal for human beings. We have to realize that we are not special, that everyone feels more emotions during the competition, but the problem are not the emotions, the problem is the lack of control of these emotions. So players who are not trained individually, these players have big problems during the competition. So these are the general challenges that players have to face during almost every competition. Of course, there are more and more, but these are really general, and these are really repetitive. So especially if you go to the tournament of juniors, you can see almost in every match, in every competition, exactly the same challenges. Players making more mistakes, they make improper decisions, they are angry because there are more emotions that they don't control, they focus on the things that they shouldn't focus on, and their body is really tensed. Now let's go to the reasons of underperformance during the competition, because before I pointed out the challenges that we have to meet during the competition, but right now will be the reasons. So why do players struggle so much? Firstly, this is because of the stress related to competition. Competition is the test of our skills. So athletes are afraid. Athletes are afraid if they are going to meet the requirements of the competition of these tests. It's like you go to school and you are afraid of getting good note, of passing the exam, of having the opportunity to go to the school that you want. And the same approach happens when we are competing. So the stress is related to different factors, not only to the event, but to the consequences and to the different factors related to the competition. And for example, this is because of the score and the consequences of the score. So for example, if you win, you know that you advance to the next round, you know that you're more effective than your opponent, you confirm your high ability to find a solution to different problems. Maybe you can get some gifts, maybe you can get some sponsors, you'll get some recognition, you'll have a chance to play in the final, you'll have a chance to qualify for the higher grade tournament. So these are the consequences of winning, but there are also the consequences of losing. So for example, negative opinions of your peers, of other players. It can be losing in the tournament. It can be coming back with the parent who is screaming at you. It can be negative opinion of your game from your coach. It can be losing money. Because if you travel a lot and you're losing, you can say that you lose money because you don't get anything from that. So there are many consequences of winning and losing, and athletes are aware of these consequences, and that is why they underperform during the competition, because they worry about these things, because their focus is really broad, is put into different areas related to athletic career. The score has the priority during the competition, and as we know, we cannot control the score fully. We can have an impact on our side, but there is also the opponent that we cannot control. Another thing why players underperform is the opponent's pressure. Let's keep in mind that we always compete with someone. Of course, we have to firstly win the competition against ourselves, but there's always a rival. We can have a rivalry directly with the rival, or we can have a rivalry when we don't have an impact personally on the rival, but there always will be the rival who can beat us even without our impact on his performance. So we are aware of that the opponent puts pressure on that we want to be better than our opponents, that the opponents will try to use their strengths, or if they can face us personally, they can try to use their strengths against our weaknesses. So if we are not confident about our skills, if we know that our strengths are worse than the strengths of the opponent, if we know that our opponents know exactly our weaknesses and will try to capitalize on them, we'll feel more and more stress, we'll feel more and more pressure, and we will underperform during the competition. Another factor that we have to include in this group is the changing environment, because if you compete, you go to different places, sometimes you go to different countries, you compete against different rivals, you use many times different equipment, you have to deal with different weather conditions. So this is the environment that is not stable. This is the environment that is constantly changing, and the skill of adaptation is crucial here. The players who don't train the skill of adaptation, the players who just want to execute the plan but they don't want to implement any changes, the players who don't accept different challenges, they want the world to adjust to them and not them adjusting to the world. They have big problems, they underperform many times. They are the players who train well, who play well during the practice session, but they don't score good results during the competition. And the last thing is the general preparation. Preparation before the tournament, before the competition is crucial. The better prepared you are, the bigger impact you have on your performance, and the bigger the chance that you will beat your opponent. But if you prepare too generally, if you prepare just focusing on few areas, you will not be ready for all the challenges that will happen during the competition. You'll have to face a lot of challenges technically, tactically, physically, and mentally. That is why your weekly routine should include working on these four areas. If you neglect one of these areas, there will also be a factor that will put the stress on this area during the tournament, during the competition, and you will struggle a lot, you will feel a lot of stress, and you will underperform. In this presentation is about the proper mental preparation, because the mind decides what the body will do, and that is why during the weekly schedule we have to implement conscious mental preparation, conscious mental work. A lot of players, a lot of athletes know that, but the same group of players don't do anything with that, because they think that they have to go to psychologists once a month to be strong mentally. But it doesn't work like this. Every day you have to improve mentally, every day you have to follow the plan that you have, that you should have, according to the mental preparation. And right now you will understand when and what players should address related to proper mental preparation. So let's start with this one. As soon as the last competition ends, this is when the mental preparation starts for the next tournament. A lot of players have to digest the score from the last tournament for 2, 3, sometimes 5 days, but it is waste of the time. If you are out of the tournament, it doesn't matter. You won it or you lost in the first round, you immediately start the preparation for the next tournament, even when the next tournament is in 3 months. So this is the rule that you have to put in your mind. This is the rule that you have to apply according to the proper mental preparation. If you want to be mentally prepared for the next competition, if you want to score good results, you have to start preparation as soon as possible. And it means that when you are out of one competition, you start immediately the preparation for the next competition. Remember that you have to focus on 4 areas of development. So this consciousness about these 4 areas that I have mentioned already: technical, tactical, physical, and mental. Maybe you are dominating your rivals right now. Maybe your technical or tactical skills are so strong that your rivals are not able to be at the same level, but in 2 years, maybe in 6 months, maybe in 5 years, there will be players older than you, stronger than you, having better skills than you technically and tactically. So you will need other areas to be able to catch up to them and to be able to beat them. And maybe against these guys, the physical or mental factors will be the most important. That is why every day you should make sure that you make little progress, even 1%, in 4 areas of development, that you improve technically, some kind of movements related to your sport, that you improve tactically, that you understand better how to play offensively or defensively, that you are stronger or you have better stamina physically. Your body is your machine. If your body is working well, you have a chance to execute things technically and tactically. And the last thing, of course, the mental part. The brain decides what the body will do, the brain decides about the decisions, the brain decides about the creation of new habits. So if you want to be really successful athlete, if you want to prepare optimally for the next preparation, you have to include 4 areas of development in your daily work. You cannot neglect any of these areas if you want to be successful. Let's keep in mind that the mental part, it's not related just to one or two skills. There are many skills related to the mental part. For example, it is the control of the emotions. So if you want to be a great player, you have to control the emotions, because during the match there will be many emotions that will try to take control of your game, of your decisions, of your performance. You have also the focus, how long you can focus, if you are able to switch the focus from the internal narrow to the internal broad, or from the external narrow to the external broad. Of course, we have two main types of focus, internal and external, but we have also these two categories, smaller ones, narrow and broad. And first, you should be able to focus separately on 4 of them, and then you have to be able to switch between them during the point, during the action, during the rivalry, to be successful, to meet the demands of current situation. You have also other skills like confidence, like motivation, internal and external, like resistance, like dealing with the upsets. So there are many skills related to the mental preparation. There is a variety of work you have to do, and your job is to set the priorities. Your job is to think what you need right now and in the near future, and start working on them as soon as the competition ends, and make sure that every week you analyze what you have done and you understand at which stage you are in getting better with the mental skill. And the last thing are the conclusions from the last competition. So this is more the short-term approach. It is not about the long-term approach, because in 2 weeks, in 1 month, in 12 weeks, you have another competition. So you have to focus more on the short-term perspective. Every time you finish the competition, you need the information. You shouldn't come from the competition just with the score, with the trophy, with the anger, but you should always come back smarter. You should always come back with the knowledge about your strengths, knowledge about your weaknesses, knowledge about the new opportunities to improve, knowledge about the new skills that you have to implement into your repertoire. So you have to dedicate the time after the competition to make this analysis, to understand what happened during the last competition, to understand the reasons of the results that you achieved. And with this knowledge, you'll be able to work consciously. You will be able to set effectively new plan, and you will be able to set the goals that you will follow every day from now. And now the main part, the specific mental preparation plan. If you want to be better mentally, if you want to be athlete who is really strong mentally, who has the advantage while using the mental part, then you need the plan. You need the plan like you need with the practice, like you need with the technique, like you need with the physical part. With the mental part also, you have to prepare the plan and you have to execute this plan. And especially at the beginning, you have to understand that you control your performance. So it is all about you. You have to understand that if you struggle with something, it is not because of some external factors. It is because you have to do something better. Because with this approach, you will always try to find new solution. You will always try to develop new skills, and you will always have a direction to follow, because you will know that all depends on you. So remember that preparation gives you tools and self-confidence. So these are the goals that you have to set, and the preparation part is the most important. If you prepare well, you increase the chance for winning during the tournament. If you prepare badly, then of course you decrease the chance for winning. You cannot guarantee the win or the loss, but it is all about increasing the chances for achieving what you want. That is why you have to set the goals related to your performance. And if you know what you will achieve while getting these goals, if you know what skills you will have and why you should have the skills, how you will be able to use them during the competition, then you will be more confident. Imagine if you know that you have 10 skills and your opponent has 2 skills, then you are confident that you will beat him, right? You have more skills. Even when one skill is not working, you have 9 more to use to get advantage over the opponent. The opponent, if his 2 skills are not working or are worse than your skills, then he doesn't have the plan B and he's done. You're going to win. So the better prepared you are, the more skills you have in your bag, the more confident you are, because it doesn't matter what kind of challenge you'll have to face, you'll have the tools to deal with this challenge. The training part, this is what the champions focus on. They understand that the competition is the test of the skills that they achieved during the preparation phase. So if you want to be well prepared mentally, if you want to be confident before the competition, it is time to set the goals, it is time to set the priorities, and it is time to do the hard daily work before the competition to make sure that you didn't use the time, energy, and opportunities to get your performance to the next level. Work on mental abilities that you can face during the competition. So this is related to the analysis of the last competition, or it can be related, for example, to the knowledge of other players, of your team, of your coaches, or your consciousness about your future. So if you see that during the competition you're stressed at the beginning, or you are getting angry after making few mistakes, or you are not believing in yourself if you are losing, so these are the mental skills you have to work on. You have to spot them, you have to make sure you are aware what costs you losing too many times, and then you are setting these goals as we said before, and then you're working on them. But without awareness, without consciousness, without the analysis after the last competition, it won't happen. You won't be mentally prepared for the next competition. A lot of players come back from the tournament and they say, I don't know why I lost, how I could lose to this guy, why I am not able to play, to perform as well as during the practice. What it means, they didn't analyze anything. They just came back with the score, with some emotions, but with nothing else. What you need is the information. After every competition you need information, because without this information you cannot set the effective plan. You'll be just guessing, and it is not about the guessing, it is not about the gambling, it is about increasing the chances. And you can increase the chance if you control what you can control. You can control achieving your new skills, but you have to make sure you know which skills you need short term to improve your results. So that is why focus on the mental abilities, but make sure you are aware what mental abilities you need, with which mental abilities you struggle, and you struggle because these mental abilities are not on the high level enough. Also, you should push yourself outside of your comfort zone. The progress starts outside of your comfort zone. I know it's not easy, I know it's difficult, I know we don't want to be every day out of the comfort zone, but this is question to you. As an athlete, do you want to achieve your goals, or do you want to stay in the comfortable environment? If you want to achieve the goal, if you want to win the tournament, if you want to be great champion, you have to be out of your comfort zone more times when you are inside of your comfort zone. Because mentally during the competition you'll be all the time outside of the comfort zone, unless you are playing against much weaker player, then probably more times you'll be in the comfort zone. But against solid players, against better players than you are, you'll be out of the comfort zone. You'll be under the pressure, you'll be dealing with many mistakes, you'll be dealing with some doubts. And to get out of this whole, to be able to bounce back, to improve your performance, to play your best when it really counts. You have to get used to being out of your comfort zone. You have to like being out of your comfort zone. If you're afraid of being outside of your comfort zone, you'll try to defend yourself. And it is not about defending from doing something better. It is not about defending from putting more work. It is about trying to win at all costs. It is about testing yourself. It is about believing in yourself that you will deal with any challenge that you will face on your road to victory, and learn how to accept negative consequences. And it has to start at the beginning of the match, at the beginning of the competition, but also during the crucial moments of rivalry. What it means? That you have to accept that if something goes wrong, you accept that, but you know what you have to do. You know how you increase the chance for winning, and you just follow your plan. If you have the tactic in tennis that you want to play offensively, but you are afraid of losing the match, and you start pushing, you start playing defensively, you give advantage to the opponent, then you are not accept negative consequences, then you are not playing what you train, and you will be feeling stressed all the time. You will not have the courage to play your best. But when, before the match, you accept the negative consequences, you tell yourself, okay, I can lose playing offensively, I can make more mistakes, I can hear negative opinions from my parents, from my coach, from my peers, but I accept that. I accept that because I know that I train every day offensively. I want to perform offensively because with this approach, firstly, I increase the chance for winning. And secondly, I'll be getting better and better, and in few years, I'll be dominating players like this. I just need repetitions, physical repetitions and mental repetitions. Physical repetitions are kind of easy. Mental repetitions are more difficult, but you have to push yourself. You have to remind yourself what you do and why you do this. You want to remind yourself what you will have a chance to achieve, what benefits you will get if you'll be repeating the same actions over and over again. So accept negative consequences. Don't be afraid of losing. Strive for winning. Think only about what you can achieve, not what you can lose. With this approach, it will be much easier to execute your plan, and with this approach, you will feel less stressed because you want to get something. And if you want to get something, you have less stress. If you can lose something, then you definitely put more pressure on your performance. So this is it. This is about the mental preparation. That was kind of short presentation, but if you are interested in more aspects related to the professional match preparation, not only related to the mental part, but to all aspects of athletic development, technical, tactical, physical, mental, and also nutritional, I would like to recommend to you one of my courses. It is called Professional Mental Preparation, almost 7 hours, right? So you have to dedicate some time, but this is why it is called professional match preparation. If you want to be just prepared, you can do this in 30 minutes, but if you want to be professionally prepared for the competition, you have to take care of a lot of details, of a lot of aspects, and all these aspects are included in this course. So in the description of this presentation, you'll find the link, and also you'll find the discount code that you can use to get this course for a lower price. So thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for dedication, the time to listen and to learn new things about the mental preparation before the competition. Right now you know exactly what aspects you have to include during your preparation phase, and also when you should start doing this. And you will see if you will be doing these things consistently, if it will be your regular routine, you will start feeling completely differently. You will start feeling more confident. You will start feeling less stress during the competition, and the end result of your work, of these benefits, will be better performance. So thanks again, and have a successful athletic career.